If your TOEFL test is only 7 days away, one more practice test will probably not be the thing that changes your score. And this is where many students waste their final week. They keep studying, but they don't necessarily improve. They move from one video to another, collect more strategies, review more vocabulary, and try to cover everything at once. But the real problem often remains untouched. They do not know exactly what is lowering their score. The final 7 days before TOEFL are not about doing more. They're about becoming more precise in your preparation. In this video, I want to show you how to use your last week in a way that actually makes sense. What to focus on, what to stop doing, and how to prepare when there is very little time left. I'll use the LinguaTOEFL platform to help illustrate my points. First, we need to be realistic. In 7 days, your goal is not to transform your English completely. You're not going to be able to rebuild your grammar, memorize hundreds of academic words, or fix every weakness you have in that time frame. But you can make your performance more predictable. You can reduce the mistakes that keep appearing again and again. You can learn which question types require the most control. That is what matters during the final week. Not doing everything, but knowing what to correct first. So the first step is to identify your high-impact problems. A high-impact problem is not just something you find difficult. It's a weakness that directly affects your score. For example, in speaking, the problem may not be your English level. You may have enough vocabulary and grammar, but your answers may not be clearly organized. Or you may lose several seconds at the beginning of your response because you don't know how to start. Or your delivery may become rushed because you're trying to say too much. In the listen and repeat task, for example, one of the main problems is retaining the sentence you heard in your head. This can still be hard, even if you are at an advanced level. Practice keeping it in your head for at least 5 seconds. Why? Thing is, on test day, you hear a sentence, and very often it's actually quite simple. Like, mobile orders can be placed using your student app. You might even be able to repeat it right away. But you need to speak after the beep. And before you hear the beep, there are a few seconds of waiting. Also, the beep itself lasts at least 1 second. So by the time you are supposed to speak, you might have already forgotten what you heard. Therefore, preparing for this section requires more than just learning new words and improving your English level. You should also train your memory and learn a few useful strategies. One way is to repeat the sentence in your head immediately after hearing it, even before the beep. This will help you retain the sentence so that you can successfully repeat it after the beep. In writing, your grammar may not be the main issue. Your score may be lower because your ideas are too general, your examples are weak, or your arguments are not easy to follow. For instance, in the Write for an Academic Discussion task, let's say you're asked about free will. Do people have free will? Or are they influenced by genetics and environment? Then you need to write a response to this question in 10 minutes. Can you think of some examples you could give? Or would you spend about 4 to 5 minutes staring at the screen without any idea what to write? Try it now. Pause the video and think about at least one example you could give. Then write it in the comments below and check what other students wrote. From my one-on-one sessions, I found that content is one of the major problems. Many students struggle with this section not because they lack the necessary grammar and vocabulary, but because they simply don't have enough ideas for content. In reading, you may understand the passage, but lose time because you read too slowly or spend too long on one difficult question. Another common issue is that when you realize that the time is limited, your brain freezes. You become so anxious that you might read even the simplest text 3 or 4 times and still not understand it. The reading section is the first section of the test, and this is usually when you feel the most anxious. This is why it's helpful to do box breathing exercises beforehand, so you can feel more focused and in control. In listening, you may understand the lecture while it's happening, but you may miss the structure of the conversation or forget important details because you're not listening for the right things. My favorite example is the question that appears at the end of many lectures. What will the speaker discuss next? Most students cannot answer this question because this information is usually given in the very last sentence of the lecture. By this time, the student is already overwhelmed with information and may think this final detail is not even relevant to the test. Then, when they see the question, and you will see it after many lectures, they don't know which answer to choose. This is why the final week should not be built around random practice. It should be built around targeted practice. This is also one of the reasons we created the LinguaTOEFL training platform. On the platform, students can work on specific TOEFL skills separately, instead of jumping between disconnected materials. They can practice full reading tests and the specific tasks they struggle with the most. For example, students often make mistakes in the complete the words task on the day of the test. Even advanced medical professionals might get stuck on this section because you need to read an academic text and fill in the missing words. To succeed in this task, you must do 3 things. First, you have to understand the words used in the text. For example, fossils, sedimentary rocks, extinct species, caves, carved rocks, and others. Second, you need to know which parts of speech actually follow certain words. For example, after to, you'll often see a verb. Before a noun, you may see an adjective. And after a preposition, you will usually see a noun. Third, you need to know how to spell the word correctly. These days, we're so used to spell checkers that many people type slowly and make spelling mistakes. So when we were designing the platform, we made sure that it actually prepares you for the test, instead of just giving you practice. For example, at first, some students say that the build a sentence task on our platform is not exactly the same as the one on the real test, and that it's much harder. That is true, and it's done on purpose. We teach you to create long and complex sentences, and almost all the words are given separately instead of being organized in clusters. The idea is that you don't just complete exercise after exercise. You learn to build sentences from scratch. So when you get to this task on the day of the test, you can do it automatically. The time for the build a sentence task is very limited, so unless you know sentence structure very well, you're likely to make mistakes. We have also introduced AI feedback for your speaking and writing responses, so that you can immediately understand your score. For example, if you need to practice emails, go to the email section, write your email in 7 minutes, and click submit. Then the platform gives you your score and tips on how to improve in 4 areas: grammar, vocabulary, structure, and content. There is also a vocabulary section with different types of words to learn. My favorite sections are synonyms and antonyms and perfect pairs because they help you get ready for paraphrasing. And if you decide to get access to the course, you can easily move between the lectures and practice, so you have everything in one place. It's extremely convenient, especially if you have a limited time to prepare. You just log into the platform, pin the tab, and then every time you need to practice, you go there, watch a few lessons, learn useful strategies, and then practice exactly what you've learned. The link to the platform is down below. If you purchase the course, you get access to the LinguaTOEFL platform for free. And since we're official ETS partners, you also get a 5% discount on your TOEFL test as a small bonus. Remember, if you're preparing in a short period of time, structure matters even more. You don't have the luxury of wasting hours on activities that make you feel busy, but do not actually change your performance. So here's how I would structure the final week. Your job on day 1 is to make a diagnosis. Don't start out thinking that you need to complete as many tasks as possible. Start by identifying where you're losing points. Take one practice test, or one section of the test, and review it carefully. Ask yourself, where did I lose time? Which questions did I misunderstand? Did I know the answer but fail to express it clearly? Did my concentration drop? Did I make the same type of mistake more than once? This day is not about volume. It's about clarity. On days 2 and 3, focus on your weakest high-impact section. This is where you need to be honest with yourself. Many students spend time on the section they enjoy or the section that feels familiar because it gives them a sense of control. But your score usually changes when you work on the area that is creating the biggest problem. If speaking is far below your target, focus structure, timing, and delivery. If your writing is weak, focus on planning, paragraph logic, examples, and clarity. If your reading is the problem, work on question types, time control, and how to avoid getting stuck. For example, I'm now working one-on-one with a student who has problems with the build a sentence task. She used to spend a lot of time trying to understand which words go where in the sentence, and she often made mistakes in the final answers. So what we did was drill sentence structure, especially embedded questions. Embedded questions are extremely important because they make up about 90% of all the sentences in the build a sentence task. So we practiced this topic until she could create embedded questions automatically. For example, I would give her mini questions, and her job was to change them into embedded questions by starting with, I'd like to know. For example, when did the conference begin? I'd like to know when the conference began. Not I'd like to know when did the conference begin. We also talked about compound nouns, such as why you should say the Southern Caspian Sea and not the Caspian Southern Sea. And now she's much more confident in this task because she knows how to build sentences from scratch. This makes creating sentences from blocks of words much easier for her. And a strong performance on this task can dramatically increase her writing score. So remember, the question is not simply, what should I study? The better question is, which part of my performance is costing me the most points? On day 4, move to your second major weakness. Again, the goal is not to touch everything lightly. The goal is to make meaningful changes in the areas that matter most. So don't just take a few tests. Study the topics you need to improve in your weaker areas. Before each practice task, decide what you're training. Are you training speed, accuracy, organization, note-taking, mental stamina, question analysis? If you cannot name the skill you're training, there is a good chance you're just spending time, not improving. On day 5, simulate the real test experience. It's not just about getting a practice score. It's also about observing how you perform under pressure. The TOEFL is not just a language test. It also tests your attention, timing, and recovery skills. As I mentioned earlier, most of your mistakes on test day will likely stem from anxiety rather than from not knowing the material. You need to understand how your brain responds when you transition from reading to listening, then to writing, and finally to speaking, all while the seconds tick away. Set a timer and check it periodically. Try to stay calm and focused instead of panicking and rushing through the test. After the simulation, do not obsess over every mistake. Look for patterns. When did your energy drop? Where did you slow down? Which section did you feel you had less control over? Which mistakes did you repeat? Patterns are more useful than isolated errors. On day 6, do a light targeted review. Review everything relevant to your weaknesses, such as universal phrases for the speaking section, writing templates, and listening strategies. Remember when I told you to listen carefully to the last sentence of each lecture? Also review reading question types, such as factual information, rhetorical purpose, and others. For this speaking section, record 10 answers to random questions and listen for organization and clarity. Try speaking for 45 seconds without worrying too much about the time, and imagine chatting with a friend. For the writing section, review your essay structure for the Write for an Academic Discussion task and practice quickly planning your emails. For the reading and listening sections, complete short focus sets instead of exhausting yourself with another full test. If you're practicing on the LinguaTOEFL platform, do only the tasks that are usually the most difficult for you and ignore the easy ones. On day 7, protect your performance. Many students hurt their TOEFL scores the day before the test because they study too much, sleep too little, and take the test feeling mentally tired. During my TOEFL consultations after the course, students often ask me what they should do the day before the test. Some proudly tell me that they will review everything until late at night. You don't need to do that. Do a short review instead. Check the test rules. Prepare everything you need for test day, and then stop. A tired brain does not perform better just because you forced it through one more practice test. So make sure you forget about the TOEFL test for the second half of the day. Do something you enjoy. Maybe watch a movie in English or read a great book. Completely shift your attention to something else, as if the TOEFL test has never existed in your life. This way, you'll avoid stressing yourself out and winding yourself up more than necessary. Remember this, you don't need a perfect performance to get a strong TOEFL score. Even high-scoring students make mistakes. The difference is that they recover quickly. They don't let one difficult question, one weak answer, or one moment of panic ruin the rest of the test. So if your TOEFL test is in 7 days, don't try to study everything. Identify the mistakes that matter most. Improve your timing, structure, and focus. Then go into the test with a clear strategy. Good luck, and I hope you get a stellar TOEFL score. Until next time.